Okay, very good. So hey, welcome everybody to our session today. Welcome our Israeli HealthTech and Life Science Delegation Info webinar. Today, my name is Sami Jääskeläinen, and I'm going to be your MC today. So it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome you with Aloni, my colleague, who we are working very hard to put this delegation together. And before we kick off the actual presentation and the agenda, just a couple of quick householding matters quickly. First of all, we will be recording this session, and this presentation and then the video recording will be shared with you after the, probably we try to do it tomorrow. We do have a time dedicated for the Q&A, but if you have some burning questions while we are presenting, you can post those questions to either to the chat, or then you can just unmute yourself, and we will then select the questions from the chat, or then we can just have a discuss, whatever is the more convenient way for you. And that's actually all the householding matters. So then we can have a quick look at the agenda. So like I said, my name is Sami Jääskeläinen. I work for the Embassy of Finland, based here in Tel Aviv. And then I have with me here today Aloni, who is working for the European Israel Economic and Innovation Forum. And Lee will give also a bit longer introduction shortly. And after the welcome words, we are very lucky to have Hanna Lankinen from Business Finland. She is coming from the Invest In team, so the right team then to support and advise Israeli companies if you want to explore further different kind of opportunities in Finland. And then bulk of the time today, we're going to spend talk about then the upcoming HealthTech and Life Science Delegation agenda. We're going to tell you what's the plan, where we're going to take you, who you're going to meet, what kind of different activities we have planned for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the logistics and, of course, then some travel-related matters as well. And at the end, we have allocated about 15 minutes for the Q&A. And but before I hand over the stage to Lee, just for those ones who we haven't met during the last couple of weeks, it's good to understand a little bit more about the background of this delegation. And so we've been working basically, Business Finland and Israel Innovation Authority, been working very closely the last couple of months to form basically an innovation collaboration. And there was a MOU signed a couple of weeks ago, which is focusing on life science. And the first wave of a long list of activities, what we are planning to do, is basically to provide a testbed and pilot opportunities for Israeli companies in various Finnish hospitals, and then also vice versa, provide testbed and pilot and different kind of collaboration opportunities for Finnish companies here in Israel. And with that, and now because Helsinki is organizing this HIMSS, big medtech delegation in June, of course, we're going to utilize that because there are a lot of also international audience in Finland, plus all the Nordics. And of course, then all the different health ecosystems from the various parts from Finland are also visiting Helsinki. So it's a very, very good avenue to meet all of these people, understand better what kind of opportunities there might be in their hospitals, to do the test-beds and pilots, what they can offer and what are they looking for. And so it's a really good avenue to use this and bring a group of Israelis to visit Finland. But that's my part shortly. Lee, if you want to add something before we hand over the stage to Hanna.
Just a quick review of the infrastructure for this webinar, but in total for this whole collaboration, international collaboration program is being backed by two governments, by the Finnish government and by the Israeli governments, which means that we brought both of the sides together to the table to give quite a lot of funds to collaborate on the health tech and life sciences from both of the countries. It's a very important and milestone recognition by all ecosystems that they declare about each other, understanding the assets basically of both of the ecosystems to collaborate together. We will publish shortly after the delegation will be finished more upcoming activities that we are planning and collaboration programs that we are planning for that. So you're more than welcome to follow and join in. On behalf of the IIA, because they are just missing in here. So we led our side from the Israeli side to this delegation or this collaboration. The call for proposals will be published in about a few weeks after everything will be finalized from the IIA. The Israeli companies has approximately 4 months to collect all the information and the MOU from the Finnish partners in order to be able to submit by the end of September for the grants. Everything needs to be followed by the call for proposals from the Israeli side. And as soon as it will be published publicly, we will share it with you as well. Anyway, you need to join basically the delegations and different kind of activities, and then come to Finland in order to find yourself the right partners to your companies in order to be able to submit for this collaboration program and get funding from the IIA as the Israeli entities. So that's the regulation from my side. Hanna, I think you will be able to share with your side. Why Finland?
Exactly. Very good. So with that, Hanna, we're going to hand over the stage to you. You can start sharing your screen and tell Israelis why they should visit in Finland.
Let's see if I can get this. Now, do you see something?
Yes. Thank you.
Let's see if I get it slideshow mode. It's a little bit slow now, but no. There. All right. You see it now?
Yep.
First slide. Great. Hey, thanks for inviting me to this session today. I'm really happy to see all of you out there in the black boxes in Zoom. I think I have met a few of you a few weeks ago visiting. So some of you might have heard this story before, but I will try to keep it short. And this is a good reminder of what I told you last time. And please feel free to interrupt me anytime. As mentioned, I unfortunately need to jump out of this call after this presentation, so we can have Q&A after it or during the presentation. It's actually a national holiday in Finland today, and of course this I wouldn't miss for any holiday reasons. But the other important engagement I have today is the Finnish premiere of Top Gun, and I have been waiting for 35 years to see that. Tom Cruise jumping into the fighter jet, so I will have to excuse myself after this presentation. But really, I hope to see you all in Finland in a few weeks' time when the sun is shining and we have a really, really great program for you planned. All right, so just shortly, about why Finland and who we are. So I'm representing Business Finland, which is the governmental organization for innovation funding, also for helping Finnish company grow abroad. So, for example, Finnish companies looking for opportunities in Israel, we are happy to help that growth happen. So, if you're looking for Finnish partners for a project in Israel, we can help you out there. Then, of course, the Invest In unit that I am representing, our main task is to help you to find business opportunities in Finland and to help you grow here and make a successful business. We also have this talent promotion and tourism promotion units in the Business Finland entity. As mentioned already, we just freshly signed an MOU together with Israel Innovation Authorities. And what makes me so happy about this collaboration is that I think actually I visited Israel for the first time 2 weeks ago, I think about, and what I learned was that we have many similarities and many things which I think we can actually both learn from each other and where we can kind of put our heads together, which are actually according to most studies made, we have the smartest minds in the world. We are the most innovative countries. We usually share the top 1 or 2 rankings in global rankings. It's Israel and Finland, top innovation country, top R&D country, and so forth. So I think by putting our people together and developing our product services, we can both from small countries get out even better results in the global markets. So I'm super excited about this collaboration. I'm happy, or I'm really hoping that we can build different kind of bridges between Finnish and Israeli companies to make us grow stronger together. So shortly, why Finland? Why, looking at the small country up in the northern corner of Europe? Well, there is many reasons why, and but from many points of view, we have the same kind of many of the same strengths as Israel has. But what I usually highlight when we take out these kind of ranking studies is that we have been actually ranked the most stable country in the world for 14 years in a row. We have a system that it's political system and environment that is very, very stable, predictable. We all parties strive for the same things. We all want to build up a society that it's good for all citizens, including very high level of healthcare, of education, and that needs to be free for all. And it is. So we are usually very happy taxpayers, and we really try to build a safe and a good society for all Finns. Also, because we are a quite small country with about 5.5 million people, it's an easy country to get started in. So if you come from abroad, you get very easily connection. Everybody knows each other in a way, so it's easy to, if you want to get something done, doors are very easy to open. When you know one Finn, for example, at Business Finland, I can get you connected to almost anywhere in Finland you want to do with, if you want to talk to politicians or government representatives or companies, we can make it happen. But then looking especially at this health field, so why should a company do health-related activities in Finland, especially research and development, testing, and so forth? Of course, we have a lot of data about that, why one should do it. But from this, I would highlight, especially, of course, our talent pool. Of course, when you do research and development, it's all about having the talented people that can come up with the creative solutions, that can do take the products and development into the best global level. And I think Finland has that to offer. We have much world-class medical research going on in Finland as well, and then we have very unique health data in Finland. I will tell you a little bit about that in a few slides. And then maybe one thing also that it's in a way unique for Finland. What also the international companies often tell us is that we have this collaboration, public-private collaboration. It's very strong, and it's all built on trust, and it's also why we have this very extensive health data available, because people trust the government. Everybody is happy to provide their health data into the system for research purposes, and everybody understands that this is the base for actually taking the healthcare further. So there are many things, from the business environment supporting, from the government support, having the talents and the available talents, and also having a lot of emphasis on research and governmental funds for that as well. Shortly to highlight certain fields that we are especially good at, I would say it's for example, oncology, cardiovascular systems, neurosciences. Under this, we can find world's top researchers, professors, and research groups available in Finland. Also, another very strong field in health is, of course, medtech, medical devices, and that stems back from, I would say, largely from our Nokia days. used to take we actually the country that took many of the really big phones and made them to the smartphones that they are today. But as you know, the Nokia is not anymore maybe the leading phone on the market. But after that switch happened, when the competition came in, much of the different solutions that we had been working with, like sensor technology, imaging, wireless technologies, those technologies that we used for the phone has now been used in other fields, like, for example, in healthcare. And also therefore we have we are good at also robotics, AI, IoT, also tech integration largely. And then about the health data, and this is something, of course, when you come to Finland, which I really hope to see you in a few weeks, this is something that you definitely will learn more about. This is just one slide highlighting, because the health data situation in Finland, because this is something that almost all international health companies that I talk to, this is something that they are interested in, because it's so much about nowadays when whatever you do in research and development within health, you need to have the data. And of course, in Finland, we have 5.5 million people, so we might not have the largest pools of data from people, but what we have is very, very unique. We have actually the data of our 5.5 million people back to over 100 years back. So we have been collecting all the data from a person till the day they die. And all this data is now stored digitally and can be accessed digitally. So we have really broad data from a person. They can all be connected by this personal ID code that we have. They are also linked to various data banks with cancer registers, social data registers, tissue samples. So you can actually really well find a holistic picture of a person and how they have been living, and link them to different kind of diseases, for example, and what you want to study. And the good thing is about it that it's accessible. We have a legislation in place that actually makes it possible also for companies to access this data, and it's very easy. And that is what you're going to learn here in Helsinki when you visit, how to get access to all this this treasure trove of health data that we have in Finland. Also, I talked about the talent. Yes, we have definitely really highly skilled and trained professionals here in Finland. We always rank very highly on the innovation rankings in the world. We have also a lot of science and engineers from other sectors, especially in ICT, where overlapping with health, that can help you to bring even better solutions for your problems. And the good thing about it is, of course, that it's not also that expensive, because that is, of course, to have highly skilled person, you still need to afford it. And in Finland, actually, we can offer a quite good cost efficiency by our personnel. So this is an overview of what the 25 employee healthcare R&D center would cost. So Finland Japan is slightly cheaper, but then, for example, looking at our Nordic peers or US or Switzerland, then we are definitely much more cost efficient. So also from that sense, it makes sense to look at Finland. And there are, of course, we have also some stories about companies that have already chosen Finland, like GE Healthcare. They have their global R&D center for wearable technologies in Helsinki. Bayer just made an announcement that they are investing 250 million euros into big health related manufacturing unit in Finland, and various other companies. Most of the big pharma, for example, have their R&D has R&D functions in Finland as well. So we are offering a good place both for the research and development, and actually also for manufacturing, which sometimes you might think that a Nordic country wouldn't, cost-wise make sense to have manufacturing as well, but we can do that. Then lastly, something about us. So the services that we could be providing you, and we definitely will, in case you are interested in looking what Finland could do for you or what you could be doing in Finland. We like to see ourselves or offer ourselves as a kind of extended team member in the market. So of course, our services are always free of charge, and we can help you to collect data, find suitable opportunities, make you meet the right persons in order to get things going. Also looking maybe at local funding instruments if that is needed. Whatever. So we try to tailor our services exactly to your specific needs. So whatever you need to make things move forward in Finland, we are there to support you. So that's our part of this equation. I think this was it. Yes. Thank you. Any questions, comments at this point?
Thank you.
But,
Thank you very much, Hanna. It was very interesting, and just open to for me at least to research or to study more about the opportunities. And I'm sure that when I'll be there, it's a great time to learn deeply about the opportunities in Finland.
Yes, I think it is. I know that we have been working hard with Sami and Lee to make a really good general program for you all. And of course, then after these days in Helsinki, I'm sure that you will know more exactly what which questions you did not get answers to, and we will make sure that even those will be handled. So looking very much forward to see you in Helsinki.
Great. Thank you so much, Hanna, for your time and joining us, even though it's public holiday in Finland. And now we will let you go. Enjoy Top Gun. And if there are any specific questions coming to your direction at the end, I will then do the connections via email.
Yes, please. And yeah, absolutely. I'll take anything. So just give me a mail or something, and we can continue the discussions afterwards.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hanna.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good. So let's continue with a couple of numbers, and looking at the clock. So I'm only going to want to talk about one, which is actually the world's. We are the third healthiest countries in the world. And quoting Miska Hakala, who was a director from Helsinki Partners, who also visited Israel a few weeks ago, he highlighted that this is the thing that we want to fix with you. We want to be number one, and we need your help, and we want to collaborate you. But now I leave the data part behind and going then to the actual, perhaps the beef of the day, which is basically then the agenda for the HIMSS delegation in about mid-June. So first of all, Finnair is having direct flights to Helsinki, and there are a couple of options. Finnair is flying every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we built the agenda a little bit around these flight times. Of course, there are other multiple options via Istanbul or Frankfurt and whatnot, but Finnair flight is direct, and it's 4.5 hours. So in that sense, it's fairly convenient. And so one option is to fly on Friday, spend a little bit time in Helsinki in a beautiful weather before the busy week starts. Or then the other option is basically to fly on Monday, and the flight actually lands on 4:30 on Tuesday morning. So it's a bit of a rough, but with that we have built only like a half a day program for you guys on Tuesday, so that you have time to catch up some sleep. And also the HIMSS actually officially starts on Tuesday when they have this pre-conference day. And the one place where we definitely would like to take you first on Tuesday is this Metropolitan University of Applied Sciences. Some of you have met their representative here in Tel Aviv a couple of weeks ago, but they have a brand new hospital, really, really large one and top notch in the world, where they have multiple tests, sites and opportunities. So this is a really, really good time to actually go and visit the hospital and see what is possible. And HIMSS is actually organizing an official tour for the HIMSS participants to visit, and this will take place on Tuesday, 12:30 to 3:45. And unfortunately, because it's an official HIMSS tour, so it comes with the price tag. And also then how to sign up for this tour is to, when you are buying your HIMSS ticket or after, because you need to create the profile on the HIMSS platform, so then you can purchase the ticket for this tour. And if you have any issues with this, I'm more than happy to help with how to get that one done. So that tour is going to end at 3:45, after which there is a HIMSS official opening at Messukeskus. It will take roughly about an hour and a half. And then we have a very interesting welcome session on Tuesday evening. So Israeli ambassador to Finland and Estonia has promised to basically meet you and also warmly welcome you to Finland on her behalf on Tuesday evening. And then we go to Wednesday, which is basically the first full day at the HIMSS. So even though that here the HIMSS, the Messukeskus, which is the conference center in Helsinki, it opens at 9 o'clock, but basically the exhibition and the public side will be open only at 10:30. So hence we have scheduled our program to start at this time. And we would like to take you first on Wednesday to basically to meet the Health Capital Helsinki, which is one of the key, I would say, organizations, and of course working very closely with the Helsinki partners and other healthcare ecosystem stakeholders in Helsinki metropolitan region to meet their team, because they are also very valuable to support and help you in your potential journey in Finland later on. So there's a meeting organized with them. Then we're also going to meet Hanna again, and Hanna then will go a little bit deeper, tell again how Investin team can support you guys. And we also have organized the meeting with Enter Espoo with you guys. So Helsinki metropolitan area is basically 3 different, I would say, cities. Helsinki is the largest one, then we have Espoo, and then we have Vantaa. And in this region, out of 5.5 million people in Finland, there's 1 million people living in this area. And then we're also going to take you a guided tour at HIMSS. So we're not going to walk through everything, but we're gonna tailor you a nice, probably like half an hour, 45 minutes tour at HIMSS to meet some interesting companies or see some interesting pavilions. And then we're going to say goodbye for you for a while. So we know that you have, it's important you have also your own time for meetings, or catch up with the emails and whatnot. And but then we will invite you then at 4 o'clock in the evening to Helsinki Partners office, which is actually in Helsinki city center. And we have put together like really, really interesting event for you, which is more about health tech and data from the Helsinki region, and also covering some parts of Finland, because we have people coming from FinData, which is basically the national level organization which is managing the data in Finland, providing permissions and whatnot. So their director is coming and talk you and explain how they operate and what is possible and whatnot. And this FinData currently covers social and healthcare data. To complete the package, we want to also bring the FinGenius and FinBB persons to meet you, because then they are managing the genomic and biobank data in Finland. So then you will get the full package. And then, of course, we also want you to meet the HUS, which is the Helsinki University Hospital, which is the largest hospital district in Finland. And they also have this very interesting Cleverheart network, which is kind of like an innovation network to develop various kind of projects, mainly focusing on digital healthcare areas. So very good, interesting evening on Wednesday. And then, of course, there's some time for the networking. And then comes Thursday. We're going to meet you guys again at the Messukeskus at the main HIMSS venue at 10 o'clock. And then first thing in the morning, we want you to meet the other key hospital and healthcare ecosystems from Finland. So we have Oulu Health, Tampere Health, Turku Health, and Kuopio Health. And it's also important to understand each of these ecosystems, they do have a universities in that city, of course, because that's always the key to build a proper, vibrant innovation ecosystem. So meeting all these people at the Messukeskus, and then basically we're gonna give you a little bit breather after that. And after that, we're gonna then again take you to the city center, and we want to basically hand over the stage to you. So we want you to pitch to the various key partners, healthcare investors, stakeholders from Finland and from Helsinki. And we know that maybe not most of you are fundraising, but this is more with the angle of different collaboration opportunities with the various portfolio companies and so on. And then after that, small breather, so people have time to go and change perhaps their gears at the hotel. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to take you a beautiful dinner to the archipelago just next to Helsinki. So Hanna has kindly booked us as a restaurant, and they will be really, really nice. We're going to take a small boat from Helsinki city and go and have a dinner. And then Friday comes, and then we know that most of you might be flying back. So we wanted to have a little bit easier day, but we still want to touch one very important aspect, which is then basically the Horizon Europe collaboration. And we have a good lineup of different speakers talking about the Horizon projects and funding opportunities and how Finnish and Israeli companies could potentially collaborate in that area. So we're gonna use a couple of hours.
Where is that going to happen? On Friday?
Friday morning, yes. From
But
10
where?
to
The same place?
this is gonna be at the Business Finland office. So again, it's quite close to city center. Helsinki is geographically quite small, like Tel Aviv. So it's walking distance basically. And of course, depends a little bit which hotel you are staying at. So, but everything is close by. And then after that, we're probably going to have a joint lunch, and then we let you go. If someone of you wants to stay longer in Helsinki, we are happy to give you recommendations what to do, where to go. But those ones who are jumping back to the plane and flying Tel Aviv, there is the Finnair direct flight then in the evening. Good. A couple of operational and practical points. So we have actually HIMSS has collected the list of their partner hotels, so those can be found behind this link. Lee, maybe you could put this link also to the chat from the other computer because I'm presenting. And also, if you want to check this Hotel Clarion, because they have usually very nice venues, meeting rooms, what then the participants can utilize while staying there. Link to the HIMSS tickets can be found behind this link. We do have a discount code for you, which will give you 15% discount. But please note that the advanced prices are valid only until end of Monday, 30th. So there's not that many days left if you want to purchase either the startup ticket or other type of ticket from HIMSS website. And then, unfortunately, COVID is still with us, but luckily not much. So there are some entry requirements, but they are at the moment, if you are vaccinated here in Israel and if you have a certificate for that, those are very light. So basically, you just need to have either on a mobile phone or printed copy of the QR code. And actually, EU and Israel have been recognizing the vaccination certificate. So, for example, when I've been visiting Finland, I've been using the Israeli vaccination certificate QR code in Finland, and it works. But of course, please check always the latest travel restrictions from the Finnish government or customs website, and there's a link here. And what else regarding this? So basically, yes, if you have a vaccination certificate or recovery certificate, you don't even need to take the test before. If you don't have, then you need to take the test 72 hours before the flight to show the negative. But if you're not flying with the Finnair, like I said, some airlines might still have some regulations, so please check those and what are the latest and most updated information. Good. Then regarding the next steps, so hopefully you found this session today insightful. Hopefully you got answers to some of your questions. If not all, then let's take those in the Q&A. But as we know, the time is really not a luxury at this case in our side, because the advanced rate is also closing on Monday. And of course, we would like to finalize the program as soon as possible. So this is what you saw is a draft. And once we know that who is coming, what are you looking for, then we will take this program to the next level and complete the next step. So we will send you after this a link to a Google form where there's some questions. You know, what are your main objectives for the trip, and what kind of people you'd like to meet and whatnot. And we would then take this as basically an official sign up for the program. So then we know that who is coming and what are you guys looking for, and what are your main targets and objectives for the Helsinki, and then we can finalize the program.
So Sami, we have
Yes.
a question in here about the costs of the visit. So no costs from our perspective. Both of the governments are funding all of it. So it means that all companies that are registering, we know that the Ministry of Export, for example, or the Institutes of Export are taking some fees for participation in the delegation. No, there are no costs from our side. The only thing is that you are covering your own costs. So flight tickets, hotels, and then you are buying a ticket. Please note that you are buying a startup ticket for the HIMSS, because you get like approximately 50% discount with the codes, which is extra 15%. So startup and then 50% extra discount is the only cost that you will have. We are covering in Helsinki all parts between, of course, it's only like transportation from one place to another. Other than that, everything is covered by both of the governments and our sponsors for this delegation. No cost from your perspective. Otherwise, we would put it in here, no costs. More questions? Please, can you please open the microphones, Sami, so people will be able to do it?
Yeah, take an unmute.
Okay, perfect. So if you have some questions, we're here.
Yeah, Lee. Hi,
yes.
This is Rafi. Thanks for Sami for presentation. Actually, a few questions. Back to the IA. By case, I had a chance to had a discussion with the guys from IA, from Uzi and the other person, Net, I think. They mentioned that they are not aware about any bilateral, just let you know, but they are not aware of any bilateral between Finland and Israel yet. So this is for, you know, maybe...
I think they will get it because it's on the international division. So once it's been recognized, but it's been signed. So maybe they're not still aware, because I think that mainly what I can assume that they reply to you as the call for proposal is still not public. So they're still drafting it, not because it's not there. It's been signed by both of the parties.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was signed, of course.
Thank you, Rafi, for the feedback. Yeah. We will put it for the IAA as well.
Yeah, because if we want to plan to relay or something, so I have not, of course, you know, given any input that it was signed, but they were not aware of. Another point is regarding, you mentioned that in order to participate in the collaboration program, we need to visit this event, means to visit Finland, which is, of course, I would be very happy to attend. At the moment, I'm a bit in sort of conflict because will be on the way to Japan just by this weekend. So otherwise,
participating in the delegation is not a precondition for participating or submitting the application. We are just let me just clarify in here. What we do is that we are building an infrastructure for all of you to get an access as soon as possible, instead of only coming to HIMSS and starting to look for Finnish partners. If you do it afterwards and you found it, this is individual participation. Of course, you can do it, and you will be able to join us next delegation. You are more than welcome to participate in all events. This one is just we tailored this collaboration as a delegation that will aim to task or to tackle all opportunities at the same place with the same time. So instead of starting to do only webinars. So we believe that, like Israelis, Finns, as I'm living in Finland for the past 15 years, I believe that you need to meet the people in order to do some business. So only highly recommended to come in here, either with us, without us. Next delegation, you are welcome always.
Yeah, so no doubt, we will be visiting Finland. It seems that we will need to postpone it a little bit, unless we will find some alternative person to do this trip. I will consult with offline with Hanna, maybe Sami, about other ways, because if we will arrive, we would like to be very focused with our sector, because there are plenty of issues here. I'm not sure how much of those meetings are relevant for us, but I will take it offline. But okay, I understand.
Sure. Lee, can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Do you have a timetable for the other delegations? You mentioned other delegations.
You mean our delegation? I mean like this delegation.
You mentioned there will be other delegations, except for
other delegation. You mean like the next one will come from Finland to Tel Aviv approximately around September, October, still not finalized yet. And the next delegation will be during end of November to Slush event, and we will combine everything together. So it means that we will address part of the delegation to the health, digital health for this collaboration, and the other one is for Slush. But please take into consideration, if you are not, according to the IIA, because you are an Israeli company, if you are not getting the MOU with the Finnish partner by the end of September, then the timeline means that you will not be able to submit for this year the grant. So you have 4 months actually to run and get to you the right Finnish partner. Otherwise, you have to wait for the next year, opening the call for proposal.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
With pleasure.
Lee?
Yes?
Hi, I'm Amit. It's written Dalia because I'm using her link, but my name is Amit.
Hi, Amit.
Hi. So I want to plan the visit, and we're trying to combine within the HILT conference and those great meetings that you organize. So in order for me to decide which meetings I want to attend, I will have to understand what people are we going to meet. I mean, for our example, we need to meet with the medical education people. So how can we plan this and understand who are you going to meet with for each hospital in order to plan on which meetings we can participate, on which meetings we would prefer stay at the HIMSS conference? I want to combine the visit from my side.
Yeah. Maybe Lee, if I can take that one. You know, it's always a little bit chicken and egg. So once we know who is coming, then we will feed the information to Helsinki, and then once we start getting, so now all the key stakeholders, the key people, the directors, those are confirmed. So that makes sure that you will get the information what we think that is crucial regarding the test beds and pilots and understanding the data environment and whatnot. Of course, then when we send you the form, and then you can pinpoint there like who are exactly the people, and you know we discussed earlier, so I kind of like roughly know where you are heading, and then I can help you to do the introductions for these people to make sure that then you will meet them during the HIMSS week in Helsinki, because they are pretty much all at the HIMSS at the event for those 2 to 3 days. So it's fairly, I would say, hopefully easy to set up the meeting. So we can support with that once we know that then who you would like to meet, if it's not already covered by these multiple events that we are organizing. Because of course, for every event, we are not only organizing the speakers, but also the other people to make sure that the networking is as fruitful for everybody as possible. Hopefully that answered.
Yeah. So if I understand correctly, there will be another phase that after we will fill in the data that you will understand who are we looking to meet with. There will be another interaction between us to understand who can we meet and better plan those days, right?
Yeah. And once I know exactly who you would like to meet, then I can, we can work on the sidelines. Like we can do the introductions. Always like that. We don't need to be in those meetings, but we can make the introductions. Say because you're both at HIMSS at Helsinki, and then, then you can arrange the meetings suitable time for you and then the other party. So, but we can do definitely introductions.
Amit, we also have the reason that we structured this collaboration by governments is that Hanna is actually on our side on that aspect. So she can, in case we don't have the right contacts or we are not exposed to another companies or organizations, then Sami can get your investor deck and then address it to her, and she can contact more possibilities, and then you can contact them directly and then checking with them if they're in HIMSS, and if not, you can always meet them around the city, because it's like a biomed. Everybody are in the city at the moment from all over Finland because of the HIMSS. So it's much easier to navigate in here.
Thank you.
With pleasure.
Thank you both.
Other questions?
One question, Lee, sorry. Can you post us the link to the website of the IIA regarding the collaboration with Business Finland?
It's still not published. It's still structured because the agreement has been signed only last week. So they're working now for the call for proposals, and they will release it as soon as possible. I assume it will be approximately a few weeks. Having said that, we know what is the timeline. So as soon as it will be published, you have approximately 4 months up to, I think, the end of September to have your MOU with the Finnish partner, regardless of all possible collaboration possibilities recognized by the IIA, to submit your application. Afterwards, the committee will be settled, I think, mid of December, and you will get a response by the end of December in order to start your projects by the beginning of next year.
Thank you.
Sure. We have one more question. So, do you know if the IIA will fund a project with Finland? In the project was already funded by IIA. Okay, so for that, Neta, we do not have a final answer, if I understand correctly, but please, we have to double check it. I think there is no double funding as we understood before, like every other project that IIA has. But I don't want to make any assumptions. I think that once they will publish the call for proposals, we will be able to see exactly how they color the budget and how can we actually feature it based on that. From the Finnish side, it's a bit more easy because you are entitled to get different kind of funding from a different kind of grants. So from our perspective, the Israeli companies, we need to wait that the call for proposals will be published and then we can finalize that.
Anyhow, our fund is coming from the Israeli authority and the fund from Finland is coming for the Finnish partner. So we must need this answer.
Unless you will decide to establish a Finnish entity, which means that it will give you a possibility and access for the Finnish governmental funds as part of the European, and this is something that is supposed to be afterwards. Same, by the way, for the Finnish company. So if a Finnish company establishes an Israeli company with the registration number, then they're entitled as a entity for the IIA funding.
Thank you.
More questions?
Yeah, do you know what is the expected date that the AI will publish the program?
I assume I cannot make any comments about that, but I assume it will be a few weeks from now. They just signed it, so they have a priorities of call for proposals based on the urgent calls that they need to take care of. But we will publish it as soon as we will get it. We will publish it immediately.
Okay, great, got you. Thank you.
With pleasure. Something else? Somebody? Okay, Sami, I think we're good.
Okay, so if no other questions, thank you for my behalf for joining us today, and we will send this recording and this deck to you, I would say tomorrow, and also at the same time I will be including basically the link to the form, to the sign up form. And of course, meanwhile, if there are any questions, something comes up to your mind, our contact details are also in that deck, so you can reach us out then and ask those questions, and then we can take those one by one. But yes, with that, thanks again for everybody for joining, and we will stay in touch very soon. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sami and Lee.
Thank you so much.
Sami, thank you very much. See
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Lee, thank you very much.
With pleasure. Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. See you. Are you also going to be in the conference? She just left.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, she will be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and of course I'm there as well. So we're gonna make sure that everything will go smoothly in Finland.
Okay, Sami, see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.